tropical drinks. We got one watching right now. All right. That's me, probably. Hello. Sorry,
What's up,
I'm
man?
just setting it up so that I'm gonna do something on TikTok so that people will go from TikTok to. I'll be back.
Oh, okay, you're good, man. I'm working on my lighting from when I was filming yesterday, so I'm trying to make it look good.
How's filming going?
There we go.
It's going all right. I had to break it up into 2 days, so but it's going pretty good right now. Jeff, my boy, what's up?
How are you doing, dear? I've
Good,
never
how about
known. How do you pronounce your name exactly?
Durham.
Okay,
Durham.
Durham. Okay, that's what I figured, but I didn't want to. Now, before we start, I must absolutely crack open a nice, refreshing Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Same great Coke taste and zero sugar.
What was the one Martin Scorsese and Jonah Hill advertised together?
Oh, that was Coke Energy, and that stuff is garbage.
Is it bad? What are you just saying that?
Well, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. I drank it and I was like, I have energy, but not much.
That Coke energy,
And it doesn't taste very good. Also, something I noticed, I'm wearing the exact same shirt from the last live I was on.
Well, this live is going to be a bit different, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be fun, dude. I have some good answers, some out-of-the-box answers, I think.
Yeah.
Yo, I was pumped for my answer.
Something.
I don't know.
I'm going live on TikTok and naming it Movie Fights Live. And instead, there's a piece of paper that says live on YouTube and then my YouTube handle. So, all right, let me grab my water and I'll be right back and we'll get right into this.
Excellent.
So, full disclosure, I've been thinking all day about the questions, and I'm like, I have a basic idea of how I want to answer them, but for the most part, I'm going to be winging a lot of it.
See,
just because,
and I wrote.
Go ahead.
He sent the thing in, and I was like, oh, I got to write, and I was writing down all my answers, so I'm ready.
All right.
Are you winging it? All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a basic understanding of what I want to say, but there's some questions where it's just like, how do you answer that?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I'll explain that when we get to them.
All right. Okay. Are you ready for some movie fights? So, you know me. I'm one of the contestants. There's no real judge, just kind of a debate. It's gonna be, I think. What do you guys think? 10 minutes or 15 minutes per each subject?
Well, how long do we want to make this? Because if we make it, it's 4 questions, right?
Let me.
5, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5.
5 questions.
Okay. We can make them like 15, 20 minutes each.
Yeah, 15. We'll do 15. So 15 minutes
like 15
per question.
Is like a target, like we're trying to keep it around 15.
Exactly.
All right.
So what? Let's open up. Introduce yourself, guys.
Durham, do you want to go first since you joined first?
Sure. All right. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
So I'm Durham. I don't know what to say because they made me go first, but I'm friends with these lovely guys, and I run the entertainment company, if you can call it that, Movie Brat Entertainment, and I make short films on there. And I'm also on TikTok.
Yeah.
Cinema Toast Crunch.
Yeah, I do a bunch of Han Solo, Star Wars stuff on my TikTok. So.
Way more talented Han Solo than I am.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but you're selling yourself short, bro.
Well, I mean, I'm more like the joking version. You're the actual high quality. This is the best cosplay version.
I get. Well, thank you.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, of course. So I guess I'll go next. I'm Jeff. You may see my name right over yonder, and I'm also semi-famous on TikTok. I'm almost at 9K, and I am addicted to Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Same great Coke tastes with zero sugar.
But I'm Jake.
I do stuff.
You know me from the Earth 39 podcast, or maybe you're one of the people who regularly keeps up with my videos, which is very few. So I'm Jake, or Jonah Drip. A lot of people think my real name's Jonah, which makes sense. I should have thought about that before I made the username, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hop into it. Our first question. So Movie Fights works like this. I don't know how many people are going to be on the live, but we'll let the comments decide. And if there aren't any comments, we're just going to have to stop the debate eventually. So I have some questions and I wrote down a few answers. You guys both have answers to these questions, I think. Maybe you didn't. I don't really, whatever.
We'll find out.
We'll definitely see. So let's just jump right into it. It's just different questions about movies, right?
Can we just say, how great would it have been if we didn't have answers and you were the only person that had answers and we were just sitting here? Would have been.
Oh, what if it was like a test and I was like grading you guys?
Oh,
and I was like, didn't really match up with what I had.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. But
yeah.
So what was the first one?
The first one was cast the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Okay. Jerem, do you want to go first?
Do I want to go first?
Yes.
Do you want to go by character, like each one, or just?
Yeah, we can go by character. So let's start off with, this is just in my order. It's not really specific. Mr. Fantastic.
Okay. Mr. Fantastic, John Krasinski. That was my pick.
I can definitely see him doing that. I was thinking, like when Fantastic Four came out, or as some people call it, Fan Four Stick came out. I really liked Miles Teller as Reed Richards. It's just that the script was god awful.
Well, that's true.
I mean, Jeff, are you done with your answer? Can I?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna be super active in this one because I don't know the Fantastic Four.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, I've seen the movies, but you know.
Yeah. So I cast Jason Bateman because I want this movie to be more dark and gritty, and I think Jason Bateman can do a really good job of playing that kind of sarcastic, witty a-hole, but also seem really smart and intellectual, and like there's another layer behind that character. So if you've seen Ozark, maybe, like that's kind of the character he plays, but he's also able to be comedic. He can be funny. He's a convincing dad, which I would hope in this movie they're further in the future. So I'm a huge fan of Fantastic Four comics. Yeah. So yeah, and I think Marvel can buff anyone up at this point. So we shouldn't bring the fact that he's not buff into it.
I can see Jason Bateman as it. Yeah. Mine was mainly based. Excellent. Mine was mainly based on Jack Ryan. I thought John Krasinski did a good job with that, and I just think he'd be a good one. But Jason Bateman, I wouldn't object.
Yeah, my answer was based on the fact that the only solid answer I have is who I would cast as Victor Von Doom.
Oh, okay, that'll be a bonus question. That'll be like an off-the-cuff question. Yeah. Because like I think I have an idea of who I would, but I don't know. It's really just based in my mind. Okay. So I think we can move on to the next one. I really like John Krasinski, but I feel like that's the popular vote, and I don't want to be.
It is the popular vote, but I really like the popular vote.
I know. Everyone loves the popular vote.
I know.
I just, with the Great Temples, I always imagine Mr. Fantastic being a little bit older.
Yeah.
Well, you always got to think about who would be the best person for the role. Like when they made Batman 1989, like Jack Nicholson may have been a little bit old, but he was also playing the entire role for like his entire life.
Yeah. That's pretty true. I mean.
Yeah, that is pretty true. Yeah, he really does play that type of character.
Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally cut you off there.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, the other perfect example of that was when Nathan Fillion played Nathan Drake in the Uncharted short film. I don't know if you guys saw that though.
No, I did. It was really good. Uncharted is so weird because I always forget about it, and then someone brings it up, and I remember how much I love it. Recently, it's just been Jeff. So next on my list is The Thing. We'll start from Jeff this time. We'll do like a snake order.
I actually do have an answer. I know you said you wanted to be a little bit darker, and this guy usually is a little bit more comedic, but usually comedians do have like a darker side. So I feel like, honestly, he's got the build for it. I would think Terry Crews would kill it.
That is an interesting choice.
Terry Crews.
Yeah, he was. You ever see Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Not really. No, I didn't really watch it all that much.
Did you ever see the horrible Netflix movie, The Ridiculous Six?
Yeah,
I sadly did.
He was the big buff guy.
I'm looking up Terry Crews right now. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
You'll instantly recognize him.
Yeah. So mine was more based. Oh.
Go ahead.
Mine was more based in, this, not really who could play the Thing, like who would be like wear the Thing costume. And while I think that practical effect worked really well, it's unrealistic to think that the Thing in the MCU's movie is going to be not all CGI. So I really just thought of a voice. And I was thinking if they're older and Mr. Fantastic and the Thing have been friends for a while, like since childhood, I want that to still be canon. I picked Nick Offerman. I just feel like Nick Offerman could really play that pissed off all the time guy. And you can even get his like in real life wife. I mean, I don't know, maybe she's too comedic for the role to play his wife in the movie, but that was literally, I was just thinking of the voice.
Well, that's a good point. I feel like Marvel has they have a pretty good history of like, Dave Bautista isn't all CGI. He's covered in makeup. Same with Gamora.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like the Thing is supposed to be like the size of the Hulk. Yeah. So that's what I mean. I don't know what route Marvel would go.
Well, I mean, look at Mark Ruffalo, for example. Like they use his
Mark
face.
Ruffalo. I've never seen that video. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that. I can see both those as the Thing.
And who'd you pick?
Who did I pick? I was never a huge The Thing fan, so I spent very little time on this answer. But I picked Jesse Plemons, actually. I just thought.
Oh my God, that is perfect.
Thank you. There we go.
That is incredible. That is an inspired pick. I love him.
I thought that.
Who's Jesse Plemons?
He plays Meth Damon in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He plays Matt Damon in Breaking Bad?
No, Meth Damon. I don't remember the name of his character. He was a neo-Nazi dude with the red hair. He kidnaps Jesse.
Oh, wait, Todd?
Todd, yeah, Todd.
Yeah,
oh, Todd sucks. But also he's
a great lead. Have you seen the El Camino movie?
Yes.
He's incredible in that movie. Like as an actor.
Yeah.
And as a villain too.
I remember him from Bridge of Spies and The Post mainly, and he was just a really good actor, and then also from Breaking Bad. But yeah, that was my pick. So I thought that was
God, that's the best pick ever. I want to see that immediately. I know I'm not like allowed to give out points, but Durham won that round in my mind.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's your podcast.
Yeah, it is your podcast.
But I'm kind of playing, so that's kind of cheating. But
no, it's okay. If we agree with you, then we'll give the points to whoever.
All right, Durham has 1 point.
1 point, great.
I should be checking on the stream to see if no one's commenting. Okay.
Yeah, I've got it pulled up right here.
Okay, we're just having a grand old time. Okay, that's great. These always get more views after the fact, is the funny thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like the May the 4th one got like 184 views or something after the fact.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So moving on to the next pick, Miss Fantastic.
Okay.
That's
starting
the Invisible
with me.
Woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Starting with you.
Yeah, because we're doing a snake.
Yeah.
All right, so I chose someone who's already in the MCU. This is kind of a dream choice for me, especially with Jason Bateman. Is Cate Blanchett. She'd be really good in this role. She killed it as Hela, and she can. I think a lot of people forget that Sue Storm is kind of like the pissed off wife who's just kind of putting up with Reed just because she had, like, for some reason, like, no one knows. But she can also play it really cool. And so that's why I think Cate Blanchett would be great for the role.
Okay. I can see that. I think the fact that she played Hela would be a little bit, probably, they wouldn't
That's why it's like a dream. It's really out there. It probably wouldn't happen, but ideally.
Yeah.
Or the girl who played, I don't remember her name exactly, but she plays Jason Bateman's wife on Ozark. She could be a good Miss Fantastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know her name, but I could see Cate Blanchett. All right. I respect that. I respect that choice. Jeff, you going next, or am I going next? Or
I can go next.
Okay, go ahead.
I was thinking like I had been watching like a couple episodes of House of Cards, so I think this might not be her name, but Robin Wright might do a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, like she's definitely got that edge to her. She's obviously quite attractive, which isn't essential to the role, but it definitely could help. And so that would be my first choice, but my second choice would probably be what was her name? I forget her name, but she played Cersei on Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, she could do it too.
Yeah, because both of those two kind of got an edge to them.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I think a lot of people forget about Sue, and she's not usually portrayed in the movies as having that edge. And the thing that I think's important. What?
That's all thanks to, what was her name, who played her in the first one?
Jessica Alba?
Jessica Alba. I said Jessica Biel.
I like Jessica Alba, though. She tries, at least, you know.
She tries.
She tries. I respect
How would you like to be at the academy and they just go, yeah, she tries?
Never. I hope never.
And the award for She Tried goes to Jessica Alba.
Jessica
Alba's She Tried award.
With the nominees being Tommy
Brie
Lee
Larson,
Jones and
Brie
Johnny Depp.
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson and Captain Marvel.
Oh wow.
You know who Captain Marvel is? She's Space Karen.
Space Karen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's just after Wonder Woman did it so perfectly. But the movie's not really like for us, I guess, you know. It wasn't like supposed to empower.
It wasn't marketed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I look at things a little more critically, so yeah, it's definitely not for me.
All right. So second to last answer, because we're doing Victor Von Doom off the cuff. I think I have someone, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
Wait, did Durham say who he wanted?
I have I have once again the popular vote of Emily Blunt to my John Krasinski. So
I totally get that.
I could buy that.
Right.
Well, yeah, they're already married, so
yeah, there's the chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just look at A Quiet Place. They can pull it off.
They can. Mm-hmm. Although he did
die without dialogue. Pull it off. Well, spoiler alert, bro, for all the other people that haven't.
How have you not? If you've not seen A Quiet
Place, have you
not?
Yet, I'm not right? I know.
Yeah, like if you've not read something about it, seen a tweet about it, like, come on, it's been out for enough time.
At this point, if you haven't seen it, you're not going to.
Yeah. You will, but it won't be like, you'll just kind of like see it late to the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like it won't feel the same. I'm sorry we spoiled it for you though.
No, I've seen it. I was saying in general.
Oh no, not you. I'm talking to the viewers. I don't know if anyone's watching.
Yes, the viewers.
Did we really say any spoilers, or did we just kind of say like Emily Blunt was good in it?
No, John Krasinski dies.
Oh, well, now we've definitely spoiled it.
But okay, so Victor Von Doom, we're having a lightning round.
Oh no, Human Torch is first.
Oh, Human Torch, right?
About him. All right, Durham, you're first again.
Am I going first? All right, Human Torch. I'm gonna cast Liam Hemsworth. Let's bring another Hemsworth into the MCU. Why don't we? My skinny yet also buff, good-looking guy himself. I think he could pull it off. I think he's a pretty good actor. I don't know.
That's kind of scary because that was actually my second choice. Was Liam Hemsworth.
Your second choice?
Because I was thinking like, I was going through a couple lists of actors who kind of like had that fit, and
Yeah.
I thought of the Hunger Games and I was like, oh, Liam Hemsworth. But then I thought about it and I was like, maybe Josh Hutcherson could actually pull it off. Because, he's kind of like, he's a little dorky. He's a likable, but he's still got the build,
Have you seen Future Man? He's really good in that show.
I have not seen that.
Check it out.
Hulu? All right. Future Man on the list.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wanted to I don't know how to preface this answer because it was really just someone I looked at and I know the person who plays him and it would kind of be weird, but at the same time, he could do it. He pretty much has the build. So why don't we bring a Franco into the MCU? Let's get Dave Franco to play him. He's like, I mean, at least
Dave Franco. Okay.
I'm imagining where they're like older.
Yeah.
The other person I was thinking of is a guy who played Han Solo in Solo.
Alden Ehrenreich?
Ehrenreich? Okay.
I can see that. Hear that, buddy? You could be the Human Torch.
I know. He's back there on mine, too. We both have.
He's not anywhere in my room. So.
No, he's not.
Well, then you're a fool.
All right. So lightning round, and then I got to go grab a drink of water. I'm out of water.
Okay. All right. I don't have a choice for this one. So
the person who I think would kill as Victor Von Doom is Michael Fassbender. That dude has range, and he can be menacing. He can be compiled and poised. He can be every kind of form of cool, that sort of thing. And we've seen him do the American accent in Steve Jobs, so I think he could pull it off.
I support that, to be honest. I love the Steve Jobs.
I guess Durham's the judge of this round.
Am I the judge of this round?
Yeah. See, I guess you get to pick an answer. We'll do every we'll add in a bonus question or something.
Okay.
And, have one person be the judge.
Okay. Who would you say?
This came to me because we were talking about Breaking Bad, but Bryan Cranston, he would be. I mean, he's bald, but you guys have seen Trumbo. He has hair in that movie. Watch Breaking Bad. He is the greatest villain in the entire world. He can pull off that exact same act. Smart, complicated, short-tempered, hell-bent on revenge. Acting like he's the hero, but secretly knowing he loves the evil. Because that's what Heisenberg was. He acted like the hero. He acted like the hero to his family, but loved the evil and the doing the crime.
I'm so mad you made me the judge right now because those are both such good picks.
It's just apples and oranges.
I know.
I
don't. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna just barely. I think for that one, I'm gonna go with Jeff because of. I watched the Steve Jobs movie recently, and I'm gonna go with that. But
shout out to my boy Michael.
Brian.
He's in my podcast, Durham.
I know. It was
Guess this is my podcast now.
But
yeah, Jeff,
he's in my list later. Oh no!
All right. I guess I'm the host of the Earth. Which one is it? 92 or something?
Is it? I thought it was 39. I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
Okay. So what was the next question?
I have Bryan Cranston.
And I'm back because Jeff didn't remember the name of the podcast.
I remembered. I was just being a jerk.
A
jerk, a combination between a jerk and a dork.
So this next question, I already know Jeff's answer to because he never stops telling me about his answer to this question. He's mentioned it, I think, on 2 previous podcasts. Pitch the next Star Wars saga with directors and.
Okay.
So I haven't thought about actors and directors, but the idea that I had, and yeah, I've talked about it a couple of times, but that's because I think it would be an interesting side of Star Wars to see. So during the Clone Wars, there were a lot of independent planets that had to either choose a side or face the threat of invasion. So what I thought would be super interesting is if you had an independent planet who didn't pick a side, and so the Separatists invaded, and rather than having the Republic intervene, at least immediately, what you could have is you could have like a bunch of locals who would like form together to become a militia, and then they would essentially go out and take out the separatists in like Inglourious Bastards fashion. So it'd be Star Wars Inglourious Bastards. And then I have like a couple seasons in mind of how you can how it could be when like the Empire gets created, and like how it would be affected if the Republic actually showed up, that sort of thing. And I don't know who I would want directing it, but I definitely want like Dave Filoni involved. Like on some degree. I haven't really thought much about the characters, but I know for sure that I do want it to be like a wide range of diverse people, both with aliens and like different races, and maybe like a couple droids or something like that, but I wouldn't want it to be just a group of humans. And that's a basic premise of my my Star Wars saga. But if I had to pick an alternative, like it was like a trilogy, then what I'd want to do is I'd want to do in between episodes 6 and 7, but I'd want to do like the novels with like the with the little story between Luke and Mara Jade and that kind of time period. But if I could remake one of the Skywalker movies, I'd make sure Duel of the Fates got made. Because Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. It's such a controversial topic.
Yeah.
It is. You and I need to do just a one-on-one barf up of everything we don't like about that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'm down.
Yeah. What about you, Durham?
For me, all right, this was a really hard question for me because, like, for a saga, like the next saga, I had no clue what to say, because I remember reading about like what like Disney wanted to do with like the next chapter and stuff, and they're like, we don't want it to be a part of the Skywalker like saga, you know. And I was thinking, all right, well, I don't know what would you do, like not have the Empire, not have the First Order, not have the like separatists and every all of that. But what I would want, what I think would be a great idea was, which I thought this is what Rogue One was going to be, but it wasn't, which would be like a Saving Private Ryan or like a 1917, but with a Star Wars paint job, you know, to have this like crew of rebels that are just like actually in the middle of like the war, and have a, you know, sort of war movie with again with just a little bit of Star Wars flair, kind of like The Mandalorian is like a Western but with Star Wars, and like Solo is very reminiscent to that. And keeping with that sort of Saving Private Ryan idea, I said that like within the like the group, there would be Robert Carlyle, shoot, who else? Bryan Cranston, actually, I said him in it. Taron Egerton and
I
Colin,
love that guy.
Right? He's so good. And
yeah.
Shoot, I can't read his last name. Colin O'Dreeran, I think his name is. He played Hook in Once Upon a Time. I think he's a great actor. And then maybe like it's really good. And then I don't know, maybe like Ryan Gosling or something. I don't know. But director, I don't know. I like J.J. Abrams as a director in general. But if we're not going for J.J., then either probably like Sam Mendes or Jon Favreau. If he wants to do it, I'd let him do it.
Yeah. I actually thought about bringing Sam Mendes to potentially direct a couple episodes. I just forgot to mention it. Also, what I'm hearing is that basically the way that you make new Star Wars content is take my favorite movies and put Star Wars into them. Because I love 1917.
Pretty much. That'd basically be what it is.
So
hey.
We got Mateo jumping in.
Welcome.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Mateo, you're a little late to the party. We're doing the pitch the next Star Wars saga. So I'll answer so Mateo can pull up his answers. I don't know if he has any answers.
Yeah, one second.
Okay. So I'll just tell mine. I see the Star Wars saga going in a very different kind of graphic, comic booky style, heist direction. I want to start post Clone Wars era, and it's about a runaway clone who's now surviving on his own in like the underworld.
So someone who like cut out his inhibitor chip?
No, just literally was in that fight, and then because there's always this weird gap, and I've researched it, where stormtroopers became regular people where they used to be clones, and I never really figured out that transition. So this guy's kind of like an escaped clone. There were a few clones who lived and stuff and served, because they eventually did replace them with human soldiers because they were in control of the Republic and everything. So they had access to more materials and human, soldiers. So a clone escapes, and it's basically like the wild, wild west of Star Wars. You go back to all these favorite planets. As much as I hate that gambling planet, I kind of thought it was cool that there was like this greasy underbelly of Star Wars. And like I've always said, I want space cowboys. I want space cowboys in cowboy hats. So Cad Bane's going to be in it, played by Daniel Craig.
I was just going to say.
Like he's going to have either helped the clone or something. Like there's going to be some connection, and this whole posse's going to form. And like I'm thinking I want George McKay, who was the lead guy in 1917, the one that didn't bite the dust. And I was also thinking, I would love to get Jonah Hill, because like Jedi Jonah Hill.
Jedi Jonah Hill, I was gonna say.
Jedi Jonah Hill. This is not like, I actually would like to see him try a Star Wars. I don't think he'd do it, but that would be cool. And then I want Edgar Wright on it, and I want Quentin Tarantino to collaborate on it, so it gives it that very Old West vibe. And like maybe have Edgar Wright direct the first one, and then have Quentin Tarantino direct the second one, and then maybe have them co-direct, or I don't know.
That would be very violent, though.
Right, I can't get Jedi Jonah Hill out of my head right now. That just because you said that.
Yeah.
What's your saga, Mateo?
Like, okay, I kind of had, not like, I don't know. I'd want the new saga to start off. Well, I can't really like pinpoint mine, because I would have loved the one that we have now to end a lot differently. And I've had a lot of ideas for like how the story would continue. But I guess like with what we have now, I'd honestly continue it as like just kind of exploring Rey's whole thing more. Because we saw at the end of Rise of Skywalker that now she has the yellow lightsaber, which leads me to believe that she's becoming a gray Jedi. So I'd love to like have like her and most of the sequel cast come back for like kind of her journey on becoming a better Jedi, and just or gray Jedi in this case. For a director, I feel like Tarantino. I would want Quentin Tarantino, because I don't know. What? He just has such a way with like making movies like his own, like just really personal.
Bro, no freaking way. I'm sorry.
He just does. Anyway, I don't know. Obviously Daisy.
Those characters are not Tarantino characters.
Dude, he could pull it off. I can see him pulling a Star Wars movie off.
I gotta say, like, as much as I love QT and I love Star Wars, it's kind of like QT is best when he's making his own characters or basing them off other things. I feel like that's kind of why the Star Trek movie didn't happen, just because like when you watch Tarantino's movies, they're not like anything you've ever seen. So it's a lot like it's a lot like peanut butter and tuna. You like them both separately, but if you stick them together, it could be a mess. Although
I have unorthodox opinions about stuff.
Well, I mean, it still would be interesting to see, and I'm not saying it's for sure going to fail. It's just, that's my thought.
Yeah, and my thought is, I just feel like Quentin Tarantino's characters, like you would have to restart the whole entire, from what was it, episode 9? What was the first one?
I think it was 8.
Seven.
Or 7.
Episodes 7 through 9 would have to be all directed by him. Like, he would want to build those characters, kind of like Jeff is saying. I don't think he could really pick up with.
He would want to make Ray an actual good character.
Those characters are not like Tarantino.
That was a low blow.
Oh, I'll bash the sequel trilogy for days. Y'all know me.
Wow.
I like the answer. I do. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
And creative.
All right. So
I just don't think Quentin Tarantino would ever do it.
Yeah.
I don't think he would make a Star Wars movie, to be honest.
Hey. So do we
no, I think it's an interesting choice, though. I think it's an interesting. I mean, I did Quentin Tarantino too, so I'm guilty of that.
Yeah. I respect it.
Who do we dub the winner, though?
For this one? I don't know.
I wasn't really doing.
I didn't hear the other one, so I don't feel like I can't like. I didn't hear them.
Okay. Let's just say, for all intents and purposes, we don't need a point system.
Yeah. Excellent. Let's do that.
All right. We'll just say we're all amazing ideas. Oh, someone said in the chat, I'd be into Ray's Journey continued. I gotta disagree with you, but
pain in Jeff's face when he read that, you can see it just slowly.
You can see his sanity just like yelling at him.
Well, don't get me wrong. If you enjoy Ray as a character, that's fine. I have nothing against that, and who am I to tell you that she's a horrible character? Who am I to say anything to try to change your opinion?
She's not. She's not a terrible character. Her story is just
let me just put that forward.
She's not a bad character. Just it was a bit rushed. My brothers are outside my room making noise. So if you hear anything, that's them.
I can't get over the perfect the perfect reaction in his eyes when he read that. Like that should be a movie in its own. Just Jeff on his journey to rewrite all bad opinions.
People telling me like things that like Holdo was a better leader than Akbar. I'd be like,
oh. He's just like, delete your opinion or lose my number. Like,
how do I delete someone else's messages?
So what's the next question?
Yeah.
This next question, it was on someone's TikTok, and it was like, I give you the actors, and you're the director. Now make the story and describe each of the roles. So I kind of had like an idea, but it's going to be mostly improv. But cast a movie, pitch it, and if you're not directing, choose a director.
Like an original movie, like one you come up with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bet. I've had the same thing since like 6th grade. I wanted to do it.
But you can't be inspired on anything.
No, it's just my original idea. Kind of.
So who's going first?
I have a question. I know it has to be your original idea. Can it be a continuation of something?
What do you mean?
Jeff has ideas.
Well, I might as well just explain it. So this is it's a Batman story is the best way to describe it.
I'm intrigued.
Like,
I was thinking, more like totally original, like not in the universe of anything, nothing that's been done,
Okay.
That type of thing. I mean, you can say your answer though if you have one prepared.
The detonator.
No, I can actually let me scroll through my list of ideas to write about.
My God, everyone's so organized. They wrote down their answers. I just remembered mine.
You just did what?
Like, I'm not like these are the organized guys, like the actual smart ones, and then there's the one that taught me. And I'm just like, okay.
I knew I would get all the names, but then
I'm taking in the knowledge, and I'm just like,
ooh,
okay. Yeah.
Oh, I have an answer.
Found something.
There was an unbalance in the 4th.
I mean, I can go first. Oh, someone said something about something.
She's a badass character, SMH.
That's my cousin.
Oh yeah, anyone would be badass if they were fucking invincible. Sorry for cursing.
Whoa.
Wow, did you say a profanity word?
Whoa, that's my cousin. So like, let's just chill. Let's just
Sorry.
chill. My cousin.
Sorry,
buddy. What's your idea?
Her opinion. You said your opinion. She just responded. Diffuse the situation. All right. So let's move on to this next question. Does anyone want to start?
I can start.
I'm gonna decide to go last.
Okay, so my idea is a little bit more of a horror movie, and this is something I've kind of wanted to do for a while. It's it's not exactly like Joker and like it tackles mental illness because like it's gonna blur the line between what's real and what's fake. But the idea I had was, imagine like a schizophrenic man who, like, he's been going to therapy for a while, but you know, he still needs like that extra level of comfort. So his therapist says, what you need to do is you need to get away from all distractions and all stress and just go somewhere else. And so his best friend says, well, I mean, me and my little sister are going out to our cabin, like in the middle of nowhere. Do you want to come with us? And so he says, awesome. Like that'll be away from all the noise and such. And we can just hang out and have a jolly good time. So he goes there, but like his best friend's little sister has always been afraid of that place because she's like, it's haunted. And he's like, it's all in your head. It's not real. So when they're there, the way that the horror plays out is the schizophrenic man is seeing like the same monster that the little girl is describing. And they're both seeing them when they're up at night. And it's going to get more and more intense until like the schizophrenic guy gets more and more crazier and crazier until one day he like snaps. And it's very similar to The Shining, and like he becomes kind of like the main threat, but it's a lot more different circumstances of like how he becomes crazy.
I like that idea. It sounds really cool because it's like, imagine these schizophrenic man and the kid are both seeing the same monster. People don't believe them, but for two different reasons. One's a kid and one's a schizophrenic. So even though they're both telling the truth, no one believes them, but for like two completely different. That sounds like so cool. Honestly, I really love that. That's awesome.
And maybe even the audience is like, is it real or is it fake?
Like, is it like?
I like it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'd probably direct it, but I'd bring in a couple of people who are horror experts. It, like, if anything, if I didn't direct it, I'd have James Wan direct it, just because he's like he's a master of horror. Like every single movie I've seen that was a horror movie that he directed, I liked.
Does it have a name?
I don't have a name for it. That's just the basic premise.
Just Jeff.
Yeah, this is the story of how I got schizophrenia and went crazy and killed all my friends.
The movie is
Jeff. I'm imaginary. The whole podcast, it's imaginary.
Oh God, we're in is this a simulation? Is that what we're doing right now? Is that
I like take off the glasses. You're all gone.
Oh God, Jeff, no.
By the way, guys, I'm not sponsored. Get some blue light glasses. These things are amazing.
They really help that much? I keep hearing that.
Well, I mean, you can tell the difference, and like, you know that blue lights are harmful. And every time I take them off and put them back on, I can see the blue light coming back and going away.
You guys want to?
So I know for a fact they work.
You guys know one thing, but my scarab filters out my eyes. Yeah. No, did you get that?
What did
my references are so broken because not like I made a Blue Beetle reference, but no one knows him.
Oh, okay.
I hate it. He said he's such an OP and awesome character, yet there's no demand.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
I can go.
I nominate Jake.
Mine's wildly different, and it's a very emotionally dark story.
My God.
So this was based on the TikTok I saw. So it was like cast a movie with all these people, and the people were, and the reason why I commented were Jonah Hill, Adam Sandler, Robert Downey Jr., Ed Helms, Nicole Aniston, and then there was like another person, and I saved the video. I would go check on my phone, but I remember. So here's what the story's about. Basically, Robert Downey Jr. is a tech mogul, some type of rich billionaire, and he dies, and it's his funeral, and so all these people come back together. Jonah Hill is his son with his, like his most well-known wife, the wife he was with the longest. So he's like getting all the money, and he goes, and he's like a party guy. He has a pretty bad. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. He has a pretty bad drug addiction, and his best friend is none other than Leonardo DiCaprio, who's a terrible influence on him. And it's a totally self-destructive friendship. So Nicole Aniston is the ex-wife of RDJ. You don't really ever figure out which one, but she's the mother of Ed Helms' character, who is Jonah Hill's brother, who's a lot more responsible and had to take on a lot bigger roles at the company. And so it's this whole story about brotherhood and family and how, and Robert Downey Jr.'s character is a terrible guy. He was an abusive dad. He was a drug addict. Like he was never around. So it's about this terrible person who can bring all these good people together. And that's how RDJ's in it. And I remember the TikTok also said you had to have Beetlejuice in it from the Howard Stern show. He was like Robert Downey Jr.'s friend, and he's like narrating, emceeing the whole funeral. And yeah, that's, I guess, kind of my movie choice in a
That is
nutshell.
one of the, like, as soon as you said Beetlejuice, I was like, yes to this whole thing. I just went, oh my god, Alex Brightman getting from the Broadway to come onto the movie. I could just see him like, hey, Adam Driver, you killed Han Solo. That was like,
that's not the reference I was making from the Howard Stern show.
Cool.
Can I show you what I mean though, so you guys know?
Yeah.
He's like a TikTok person.
Okay.
Well, not really. He's from the Howard Stern show.
As soon as he said it based off of TikTok, I was like, okay.
I know who Beetlejuice is.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is classic. Who couldn't?
Yeah. He's the guy who goes, the next day the motherfucker was dead. Oh, sorry, I cursed again.
He cursed. I'm gonna have to force. You will know.
Jeff does not have
a weak mind.
Safe for
oh my god!
language.
My parents watch this. My parents.
Sorry, Mom and Dad Mangini.
Hey, not my last name, please.
Sorry.
What?
Please.
Nothing. I mean, Mama and Dad, Mandalorian.
Imagine being Mandalorian. No, I watched this video, and it's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called like Superhero Bowl, and it's where a bunch of heroes fight. It's like it's a 3-part series. And
oh yeah, I have seen that one.
There's the one part when Ray tries to like dominate Batman's mind, and he's like, honey, do I look weak-minded to you?
This is Beetlejuice.
Oh my god, that's what you mean. Okay, well I thought you meant like, okay. Okay, well, okay. That was scary. That's scary. That might be scarier than the actual Beetlejuice.
Whoa. I mean, come on, man.
For completely unrelated reasons. God, Jake.
I know, but like you gotta
Boys, stop fighting.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay.
Those are some neat lightsabers you got in the background.
I would watch it.
Yeah, especially if Beetlejuice is in it.
Shoot, sorry. I'm trying to pull up.
Low-key jealous of
Yeah, so does anyone else have another answer?
I'm gonna go.
Well, I mean,
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. So when I read it, I was gonna make it something original. So this is one that I made, and I was thinking about right as I was reading it. So it would be it'd be a drama, and it would be about a film student who's played by Simon Helberg, and he is making a documentary about extraterrestrial life, and it's called The Final Frontier, and he interviews a retired astronaut who's Harrison Ford, and it's kind of like their friendship in a way, and the way that they they kind of both kind of nerd out about this like idea that there's extraterrestrial life out there. And Harrison Ford's backstory is that he was kind of kicked out of like the astronaut program and everything because he believed that he like did see extraterrestrial life, and like the government was like, hey, we got to shut this guy down and this whole thing. And so like you have like this general who would be played by Kelsey Grammer, who keeps like telling him, hey, you can't do this thing, and it's about him like telling like Harrison Ford's character story. And before the movie gets released, Harrison Ford would probably die, and before he like dies, he's telling the filmmaker like, hey, you're gonna waste your whole life trying to prove that aliens are real, and they're not. You got to give it up. And they kind of have this like fight before he dies, and then like the movie comes out, and then they don't let, and then the government like takes away like the movie, because like it was just a little bit too right. And that's
wow, dark ending.
Yeah, really dark ending.
That sounds awesome though. Like,
It does sound
wow.
good.
Wow.
Thank you.
I can't believe that.
And
Thank
would
you.
you direct this, or would you have someone else direct it?
I would direct it, but if I wasn't directing it, I would get Steven Spielberg to direct it.
Okay.
So, my choice.
No, that's a great answer. I would pay to see that movie immediately made.
Hey, I put the money up.
Well, are you guys studio executives? Because we can get this thing rolling right now if you are.
But
I think the funniest, I don't mean to cut Mateo off, but the funniest story of how a movie got funded was Monty Python, The Life of Brian, because they couldn't get anyone to give him the money.
Yeah.
And finally, like, Eric Idle gave him a call, and he said, the movie's on. George Harrison is putting the money up. You know, George Harrison from the Beatles. Yeah. And they said, why would he do that? And he even asked him, like, why would you do that? And he said, well, I'll put the money up because I want to see the movie. And it's like the most expensive movie ticket anyone's ever paid for.
Yeah. That's funny.
Which movie?
Monty Python, The Life of Brian.
Oh, okay. My bad. I kind of zoned out. I was trying to pull up my answers.
It's okay.
So Mateo.
Oh, all right. So basically for my movie, everyone who knows me knows this, is that I'm obsessed with superheroes. And ever since I was a little kid, I've always like been obsessed with the idea of seeing a superhero come into their abilities and like learn in more of like a stereotypical kind of way. So like go to a legit school, but instead of teaching like, school stuff, they obviously learn how to use their abilities. So I in grade 6, I like have this little journal that I wrote like an entire script in, like with stage directions and like whole notes and stuff. I had a cast of all my friends. Basically, what the movie would focus on was the main character, who I guess for all intents and purposes I'll cast, which I was gonna say, I guess Aidan Gallagher, who's on the Umbrella Academy as 5. I was gonna have him play the main character, who I guess we haven't named yet, so I'll just say his character. And it's basically his character is born with the ability of like all his senses are like notched up to 11, like just crazy, like super hearing, sight, smell. But so his abilities aren't really combat focused; they're more for like reconnaissance and stuff like that. But all his friends around him have really sweet abilities. Like I was thinking one of them, obviously fire, ice, a pair of twins. And then one of his friends can, kind of turn into like a thing-like creature. I was thinking Brenton Thwaites, or if I'm pronouncing that right, from Titans, and Maddie Ziegler as one of the twins. And basically, it would follow this group of friends.
Thwaites is too old.
But he doesn't look old though. He looks like he's like 18. He looks around that age. That's why they cast him in Titans. Anyway, but what I was saying, so yeah, it would follow this group of friends who go into this school, but it turns out that the school is actually being controlled, like. It's being masterminded by the main villain. I was thinking like I didn't really know what I wanted for that, so I didn't really choose an actor for that. But basically, so they have to like do a whole bunch of spying around. They have to do a whole bunch of keeping their cover, and it's kind of like there's going to be humorous moments in there where they have to be like, oh, like it's just I don't know. I'm not great at explaining things like this.
I think it's
legit. These heroes have to free their program from the control of these bad guys before he starts turning them to the other side and starts using them as weapons to take over the world or whatever. I don't know. It would be a lot more like if I had the time to like really do it, but I kind of give up on that idea because it consisted of a cast of my friends who did not want to do it.
Well, I mean, you could recast him based off of who you think could play him in like Hollywood actors.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really solid idea. The only part I don't like about it is that I just don't like Aidan Gallagher as a person. He's a good actor, and I think could play the role. Why
you don't like him?
I don't like him as a person.
Okay.
You should look up some of the stuff. I'll let you guys go on Twitter and look up the stuff and the screenshots and stuff, or I'll send you the factor. But
is it like he's hard to work with, as in like Edward Norton?
No, he's just said a lot of things about depression, certain mental illnesses, and once told someone if they're not vegan, they should go die.
Guess I haven't done my research.
Well, guess I'll die.
There was one time this fan posted fan art of him, and he was like, "This doesn't look like me." Like, he has a history of calling out fans and saying like they're only using him for attention, and like it's like he's not gonna repost it because it's not good enough. And so someone posted art of him, and he's like, "That doesn't look like me," and they got in like this argument. And then at the end, he goes, "Haha, you are kind of beautiful though."
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I have my own reasons, but
hey, you can cast him, but he ain't gonna agree with it.
I haven't done my research. I don't keep up with that kind of stuff. Well, guess I'll just quit.
I do. I'm the king of keeping up with the cancels.
Dude, I'm not a director. Okay, if I was gonna make a movie, I would hire a director. I'm an actor, and I'm a director. Yeah, I'll hire Jeff. You know what? Official statement: I will hire Jeff to direct the movie. And as long as you keep Brenton.
Idea.
Ouch, Mateo.
Mateo, it's gonna be if I would direct
Jeff
it would be
frantically raising his hands. It was very eye catching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I were to direct your movie, I'd have you on set every day.
I love the idea. It does sound a little bit like Sky High, but I think
or like My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Sky High.
Sky High. It was a Disney Channel.
Oh, it's the best movie ever. I love it so much.
Kurt Russell.
Bruce Campbell's in it.
Exists? I haven't seen it.
Jeff, you have to. Jeff, you would love Sky High.
My entire life.
I saw it years ago, and I don't remember any of it.
What's it about? Like what I said? Like like.
It's pretty much about what you said.
Yeah.
I thought I had an original. Okay, well.
Hey,
today is not my day.
Hey, it was a good idea. You can make that everything your own, but go watch Sky High. It's great.
It's a great movie.
That's a cool title too.
Oh, I might watch it after this. I think it's on Disney Plus now.
Yo, watching that. We're watching that together, all of us.
Okay.
Watch Sky High. All right.
So
that was all, right?
Jeff said it. Mateo said it. I said mine.
Well,
so I think those are all great movie ideas. Mine could use a little bit of work, but those are all some great ideas.
I would watch any of them.
Yeah.
I'd buy a ticket to them.
Wait, was it Ringo? No, George Harrison.
George Harrison story.
All right, so this question's hard to answer, especially I know for Durham, who's a huge Steven Spielberg fan. I think Jeff, you are too. Right?
I do like Steven Spielberg.
Probably, I mean, huh?
I do like Spielberg. He's made
some of my favorite. I will let the record show that these three gentlemen here have a lot more film knowledge than I do. I have a very basic. Okay, yeah, this is my.
I'm gonna hold this right here while we answer the question.
I have a very basic film knowledge. Like, just I know it kind of makes a good movie. These guys have like legit Harvard level intellect.
Thank you.
Harvard levels a little bit.
Brainiac shies at their intellect.
We just watch way too many movies.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
I'm more interested in acting in them than directing. If you catch my drift.
All right.
But what's the question?
Cast the new Indiana Jones.
Can't do it.
I have two answers. So, originally I was like, you can't do that. No one can top Harrison Ford. But let's say it was going to happen anyway. There was no stopping it. The studio had dollar signs in their eyes. Even Harrison Ford and Spielberg approved of it.
It's been in talks.
Yeah, there are two people who come to mind for me, and both of them are in Star Wars.
Please don't say anything wrong. Okay, good.
One of them
Sorry, that's not even my answer, but
yeah, one of them would be a little bit controversial because there's a couple of people who'd be like, you can't cast him, he's blah, blah, blah. But I think Pedro Pascal would be pretty good just because he kills it as the Mandalorian. He's clearly got the right age. He's very cool. He's got good line delivery. He's got comedic timing. I think he could pull it off. But the second one that I was thinking, which this is more like my second choice, but I think Oscar Isaac would do a pretty okay job. I feel like he'd do okay. I'm not as confident.
These are both for indie?
I'm not more.
Guys, by the way, I want this to be a debate. Like, it's not mean to like contradict someone else's answer.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my guns. I want Pedro Pascal.
Oh my, no, I was gonna say you're good with Oscar Isaac, but not Pedro.
Yeah.
What?
Wait,
not
what?
Pedro. Watch Game of Thrones, you fool.
I have never watched Game of Thrones because I'm not very interested. But from what I've seen of his work, I don't think he could do good as Indiana Jones.
Oh,
there are three things that
You
show
said
that he's got chops.
I'm debating. I think he can do it.
The Mandalorian, which kind of shows how cool he is. Game of Thrones, which shows his range. And then,
like that roguey personality, that like very, like slick.
Yeah. And did you ever see Kingsman: The Golden Circle? He was whiskey.
Oh yeah, I did. He was great in that.
He was excellent.
That's one of the things he was great in. He was great in Kingsman. That is what I will say. But like I don't know. I just can't see it. I just can't see him as Indiana Jones. They're just like based on what like Indiana Jones is.
Pedro Pascal, love him. I think he's a great actor. Exactly. I think he would make a great like indie sidekick. That's kind of like, a little bit like Indy, maybe even a rival like Belloc or something. I think he'd be great. As Indy, I wouldn't cast.
Who would you place it?
Who would you
have as Indy?
The Shia,
because we know you're one of the biggest Indiana Jones fans we know.
I am. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am one of the biggest Indiana Jones fans, and I've thought about this for a long time. Because at first I was like, no, Harrison Ford's the only Indiana Jones. There's no one better. But after like thinking about it, I don't want Chris Pratt, because I think that Chris Pratt's too funny. And I think that if you see the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular.
Have you seen Zero Dark 30?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, dude, watch that and you'll know he's not too funny. There's a lot of movies out there.
All right, I know, but I'm saying if you look at like the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, they make Indiana Jones really clumsy, like way more clumsy than he is in Raiders. And I think with like the mainstream Guardians, Lego movie, all that stuff, I think that Chris Pratt would kind of go more that way. And I don't think I like that. Who do I want? Because I want them to do another Indiana Jones trilogy. Personally, my top choice is Chris Pine, to be honest. I think he's got I think he's got the charming, he's a great actor. I think he can be cool as Kirk. I think he kind of even looks like Harrison Ford. Like they can make him look more rough around the edges. But I just think I think he'd be a great choice personally.
I personally just hate Chris Pine, not even because he's a bad actor, just because I want to punch it. Like, I don't know, there's something about him, man. It's like Tom Cruise.
He has the I want to punch you in your perfect little teeth moment. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
No, wait, but why? Like, what bone do you have to pick?
He just feels so superficial to me. He just seems he's so cotton candy, vanilla artificial, Coke Zero sugar, Coke energy. Very manufactured.
Is that even a trait?
Say it again. Say it to my face, Jake.
Oh God.
Coke Zero sugar. It has a lot of artificial flavorings and chemicals. What do you want me to do?
It has beauty. It has beauty in it. It is nectar. It has
obviously you didn't see Meantime today.
Probably droplets from the Fountain of Youth. Thank you.
The Fountain of Youth.
It's really bad for you.
I was about to say it was basically this side of the screen versus this side of the screen, because we're like Pedro Pascal. They're like Chris Pine. But
I personally am all about Chris Pine. I think
you guys haven't even heard my answer, and it's not even Chris Pratt. It's
okay, but also Chris Pratt. People say he's like too funny, but like he also did do Jurassic World, which had a lot of serious moments in it too. So like
he did, but he was too cheesy serious in that movie.
In that movie, I guess that was kind of cheesy serious because he knew he was gonna like.
It was very Fast and Furious. That's what it was.
Okay, true, fine. My opinions are invalid.
Right.
No, that's not true. That's just how I felt.
No. I'm saying that for comedy relief, because.
Anyways, who's your pick?
Yeah, who's your pick, Jake?
Oh, mine is Richard Madden from Game of Thrones.
Wait, who is he in Game of Thrones?
He was the oldest Robb Stark.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rob
that'd be
Stark.
awesome.
He would be great at it. He has a great American accent. I watched The Bodyguard, which is on Netflix. Rob Stark.
He's switching that.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm not going to switch, but yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Again, Chris Pine.
Oh, two of my friends are on. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Miles.
But I would support. I would be okay with that if they made it with him. I'd be okay.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
Like everyone else, I have absolutely no idea who they're talking about, so I'm gonna baselessly pretend I know what you're saying and be like, yeah, sure,
definitely.
Just look up a picture of him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did you ever see
right now?
Did you ever see 1917, Mateo?
I did.
He was the brother of the one soldier who.
He was Blake's brother.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's the guy who was in it. Yeah, he was in it for one scene.
That guy could be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how as soon as you said 1917, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, just like throwing this one out there, if they did make another one, and I would also be okay if they went like the solo route and just found someone that can just play the part really well that no one really knows. I'm fine with that too. But if we're talking big names, Chris Pine's always been my number one. But I support him. I would be fine with that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What's the next question, Jake? Or do we need a double winner?
I don't think we need a double winner. I mean,
I don't think we can double winner.
I think the one we all.
I think we all kind of agreed on Jake's, so we can double winner.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess.
Round 3 goes to Jake.
All right, so let's do this is like the final question. We could also do some bonus questions and stuff.
All right.
Who is the greatest filmmaker of all time?
I would like to start.
Yeah, go ahead, start.
So, I know a lot of you think I'm going to say Quentin Tarantino. That is my favorite director, but the person who I think is the best director of all time is Stanley Kubrick. And I will explain that. So, when you watch a Stanley Kubrick movie, you got to know, like, actually, you can't even ignore it. Like, that man was a perfectionist. He knew exactly how he wanted his movies to be, how he wanted his actors to be portrayed, how he wanted everything on frame to be seen, so that to the point where every single part of his movie was like a painting. It was exactly how he envisioned it in his head. He was a little crazy, like he pushed his actors to the limits, but it was always like in the intent of making his movies that much the better. And I see Jake over there shaking his head, but
no, that's not. My friends are talking in the chat right now.
Oh, they're having their own little conversation.
Yeah, and so I heard your answer, but I was like, bruh, come on.
Yeah, but if I had to pick like greatest filmmaker of all time, I'd put like, obviously I love Quentin Tarantino, but Stanley Kubrick is just, every single time I see one of his movies, he amazes me.
Okay.
All right. Anyone?
Who's next?
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next because my answer is really short. I have zero reasoning, but I feel like people just know Sam Raimi. Just like, I have no explanation. I just think that Sam Raimi is a gift to this world, given to us.
Have you seen any of the Evil Dead movies?
That is what.
Well,
and Spider-Man.
All right. There we go.
That's it. Simple answer.
Okay.
He's God.
All right, Durham, you want to go next?
Sure. I'll go next. Of course. Stanley Kubrick. Love him. Think he was a great director. He was kind of crazy. I think we can all admit that. But but who would I say? I think we all know who I'm going to say. I'm going to say Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
I mean, he only made like 2 bad movies. I mean, like not 2, but like he only made like compared to the vast majority of movies he made, like the bad to good ratio is very clear. Excellent stories that all came out of nowhere, but that's just excellent music.
Have to drop some bars on them.
Do it, Durham. You know what to do. You know what to do. Just
Go ahead.
It's Martin Scorsese. You know it. And the comments know it too. Martin Scorsese is the greatest director of all time. I don't care what you say. That man makes hits on hits on hits on hits. Mean Streets, Casinos, Goodfellas, The Departed, Shutter Island. Like, come on. Those are just, to name a few. Taxi Driver, King of Comedy. Come on. Like, I could keep going. Raging Bull. He was in the Shark Tale, the animated movie.
Shark Tale? Oh.
He was in that movie.
Shark Tale's too good.
As Psych.
The world didn't.
That shark guy. So Martin Scorsese,
the Shark Slayer,
a multi-talented king, is in my opinion the greatest director of all time. Wolf of Wall Street, which I didn't even say. But Wolf of Wall Street, my favorite movie of all time. Martin Scorsese, he's done incredible things to the genre. He revolutionized it. He's the only person who can do narration right. Martin Scorsese, hits on hits on hits.
Are we?
Shark Tale happened.
Shark Tale's amazing. Don't even say anything. Do not bash Shark Tale. I will find you.
I love Martin Scorsese.
My address is 221B Baker Street. I'll leave the front door open.
What? Beep. Sorry, what? We'll be back after the regular schedule.
That's not my address. That's the address of Sherlock Holmes.
Wait, really? How do you know?
I'm gonna drop my actual address on the podcast.
Oh yeah, my address is the Hall of Justice. By the way, just letting you know.
Let them have their thing for a minute. You guys good?
Let the children play. They will be done in a bit. Okay. My address is the Watchtower. It's in space. You can't really find it. It's like.
I love Martin Scorsese. I think he's a wonderful filmmaker. Makes some great movies. I do think, just personally, he has a little bit of a problem with pacing. They feel a little bit slow. It's like just about every movie.
That's the point, though. That's the only way you can see character evolution and true emotion.
Right. You really have to.
Yeah,
but you can't rush it. You rush it with E.T. That's like junior leagues. Martin Scorsese's gold class member VIP, wine in the private jet.
See,
you get what I'm saying?
Because clearly he knows how to do pacing. Because Shutter Island, wonderfully paced movie. But then you watch like just about every other movie. And then here's the thing that I have. Because when I watch his movies, I'm like, wow, this is actually really good paced. And I'm like, what is that? That didn't feel long. That was like, what, 30 minutes? And that was felt like it was only like 20. And then it turns out it's only been about 12 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just, it's a weird thing to explain, but it's just, it happens every time. And I'm always, great characters, great story, but the pacing is just, it kills me.
Don't worry, Jake. I'm about to do a little attack on Mr. Spielberg because obviously I love Steven Spielberg, and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is number 5 on favorite movies of all time. But the thing with him is like the disadvantage of him is that he's just like he's a $1 billion dream machine. He's got this beautiful way of bringing forth his imagination and making all this amazing wonder happen. And that kind of like the advantage to that is he always has a good budget. It's like, that's something that's guaranteed with him. Usually if you have like a multi-billion-dollar budget, it's gonna automatically be like amazing effects, or it's gonna be visually stunning, that sort of thing. Not to bash the man, it's just in terms of bringing his imagination forward, he has like all these advantages. Whereas Mr. Kubrick, what he did was he was years ahead of his time. Like, you look back on 2001, A Space Odyssey, and he would build like rotating sets. He had these creative visuals. He like expanded upon the entire world. And then there's like A Clockwork Orange, which is a dystopian future that he showed every side of the world for. And like, that's just the thing that sets apart Kubrick from Spielberg from me. Both of them are amazing visionaries. It's just that to me, Kubrick had his vision down to an absolute T, whereas Spielberg was, I don't want to say like not as loose. He was a little more loosey goosey, but he definitely didn't hit the nail down as far in as like someone like Kubrick would. That's just my 2 cents. Obviously, I love the man.
Obviously, yeah. No, I
respect for
totally
Spielberg,
respect.
but his movies are just too. It's just too cookie cutter for me. I don't know. I don't know if it's just too plastic. It's too action figure. It's too, and that's not a bad thing because I love action figures. I love that type of stuff. But it's lacking that certain depth that Scorsese films have, where they have narration, characters. You feel the emotion. You see what they're going through the whole time. Spielberg characters are so one-dimensional. They're so one beat. Even Indiana Jones, I love the movies, but every movie he's the same character except for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And in E.T., E.T., beautiful relationship. Elliot's not that developed of a character, and neither is E.T. It's kind of boring. I know that 'cause I fell asleep during it like a ton of times.
I do agree, though, with Durham's comment that Scorsese, his films are a little bit of a chore to watch at some times. Obviously, he's made some ones where they have very good pacing, like The Departed and Raging Bull. But in both of those movies, I can think back to times when, and more than one occasion when I was watching those movies, when I kind of was just checking my watch.
And hey, I mean, maybe you don't respect good cinema. No, I'm just kidding. But,
I didn't say I didn't respect him. I just have a couple problems with his pacing.
No. That was I'm totally joking.
All right.
I don't know. It's personally just a preference of me, just a slow burn, like with Breaking Bad. Like, it's just my preference is that slow burn, that anticipation, that build up, that slow unraveling of everything.
I suppose. Oh,
What?
Excuse me. I keep burping.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, look.
What'd you guys say? I'm sorry.
No, he burped.
Yeah.
Oh, who did?
I did.
Oh.
I do it multiple times because I have so much bubbliness inside me thanks to the lovely Zero Sugar.
My God, this kid, he'll never stop now. Like,
all right, Mateo, do you want to chime in?
He said, didn't he say?
I mean,
about our favorite director?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Does anyone have?
I did already. I told you guys, Sam Raimi. That's it. I got no explanation. That's it. Sam Raimi.
Well, does anyone want to attack Mr. Kubrick since I've attacked both Spielberg and Scorsese?
I have plenty of attacks to Mr. Kubrick, but it's more to his character, not his filmmaking. So.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You got to separate the artist from the art a little bit, to an extent. But
yeah, although you should see Shelley Duvall now, man. She went insane.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do.
And also, his movies, they're good, but they're not like, they're lacking. Like, again, like what I feel with Spielberg, and it might just be a personal preference. They're lacking something. They all feel very one beat to me. And I think,
really?
Yeah, I think Kubrick's. I don't know. I'm not personally a super huge fan. And it also doesn't really feel like, it feels like watching Marvel movies to me. I get the appeal, like, and I used to love it, but now I just am not a huge fan. Like, The Shining was pretty good, and I think he did a lot of great things with that movie, and he's done a lot of, Clockwork Orange, I've got to respect that, but it's still just like, personally, Scorsese, I just like the movies better.
But, Jake, as you can see, I have put on my double seeing glasses because I can't even begin to see the amount of BS coming from you.
Jacksepticeye is a god. Thank you.
Do that. I avoided the cursing.
Yay, cursing is bad, children. Yeah, I said that. I said children, even though everyone here is older than me, except for Jake.
And also, Jake, that was the comeback to the, well, I guess if you don't appreciate good cinema.
Oh yeah.
I can understand for sure if you don't connect with those movies as much. It's just when I think of like best filmmaker of all time, one thing that I always try to take in consideration is how they made it.
Mm-hmm. I think that like across the board, clearly we all have special attachments to these movies and these filmmakers, and they're all great in their own right, and we can bash each other all day, but
real quick, Riley, Shut up. She said in the chat, in the attack, "You're not even blind. You can't make that joke, loser. How dare you?" Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I was just giving credit to all of them across the board.
For sure.
Yeah. With Kubrick, right? Sometimes the shark doesn't work, and you gotta save the movie, make the biggest movie ever. But then again, his idea of everything coming straight from his brain is very, it's very visionary and it's very cool, and it was all very much ahead of his time. But sometimes, it's a bit too much out there for me personally. Although I do love 2001: Space Odyssey and The Shining, it's all great classics. But again, credit where credit is due for all of them. But yeah.
Well, yeah, there's definitely the cool thing about every director that's been said, like in terms of who everyone thinks is the best. There's something about all of them that just connects with me. Because Raimi movies, Scorsese movies, Spielberg movies, and Kubrick movies, anytime any one of them is on, like if I'm flipping through and I see them, that's the one I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
Yeah. Just before we just.
I have a suggestion that's less of a debate but more of a question. Jake, you kind of already answered this, but do you guys want to say like what your favorite movie is from your director of choice?
Okay.
I volunteer to go first.
Okay, go for it.
Everyone's gonna see this coming, but like, obviously, yeah, Jeff, it's Spider-Man 1. That movie not only is just like a good movie in general, because I know you guys know why it's a good movie, so I'm not going to explain that side of it. I'm going to explain the personal side. That movie hits different when you're like legit 5 years old, and like it's just way too good. It's like it's way too good. I was a little kid who got like I'm gonna level you guys. I got bullied a lot because not a lot of kids were obsessed at the level of I am with superheroes. So I was that one weird kid who got bullied. And I go home and my mom takes like out a DVD and she's like, "Look what I got here, the next Spider-Man." I'm like, "We watch it tonight." Like, and I was like so ready for this. I was like, "We watch it tonight, and there will be no interruptions, or I will flip out." So we watched it, and after the movie, my mom quote, "You were jumping on the couches and moving your hands like Spider-Man, and demanded that I got you a Spider-Man costume." And I was like, "I did that," and she was like, "Yeah, you were kind of a little monster." I was like, "Yeah," but that movie, it really hits different because I feel like it gave so many people like something to love and look forward to when they get and then Spider-Man 2 and 3 came out, and I was like, all right, now this is done. I was waiting for Spider-Man 4. I was anticipating. I was waiting for it, but then it never happened. And I was like, what will I love now? Where? I was so like distraught. My parents said I was like legit depressed. I was waiting for Spider-Man 4 and it never came.
Well, now you know how Firefly fans feel.
I do.
Now, who wants to go next, Durham or Jake?
Jake, I mean, we know what your favorite one is. You want to talk about it for a little bit?
Yeah, you can.
I feel like I know. I feel like I know what he's gonna say. I know what he's gonna say. Like it's like.
Yeah.
Let me just first.
Yeah. You like just like, is there anything that you haven't really talked about that like kind of explains a little bit more about your love for the film?
I mean, there's so much. Well, I mean, it just makes me, I don't know, it's a really adrenaline pumping movie. And I like movies but like that with a lot of, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. And I think I said it in an earlier podcast, but everything from the music and, the visuals and how the narration, how everything lines up is just so perfect to me. And every time I can get where where some people don't like it, but to me it's really just my movie of choice for my favorite director, Wolf of Wall Street. I'd never say
I knew it. Jedi.
Fair enough.
For me, I'll go now. Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's probably my favorite one. Definitely my favorite one. Calm yourself. It's It's actually the first movie I can ever remember seeing, and it's been my favorite ever since.
So Raiders is like your favorite movie?
Yeah, Raiders is my favorite movie of all time. Yeah. Jaws, very close second favorite movie of all time. But it was just, I mean, it's got the coolest character, like coolest original character ever. And I mean, it's a heck of a story, and it was all original, and it was fun, and it was just excellent music. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. What's not to love?
Not much.
Not much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, what about you?
So I thought about saying A Clockwork Orange, but for consistently it's been The Shining, and which is my favorite horror movie, just because it was the only horror movie that Kubrick ever directed, and I think it's personally one of the greatest movies of all time, and mayhaps the greatest horror movie of all time, because it's psychological, and it has hidden themes and hidden messages, subtle thoughts, and like little itty bitty pieces of symbolism. The sets look beautiful. The actors are amazing. I don't want to say like it's the only horror movie that ever actually scared me, but it's one of the few that I can remember has actually scared me, like kept me up at night.
Yeah.
Especially the first time that I watched it. And that's kind of when I was like, oh, this is how I aspire to be as a filmmaker. Very much, high quality.
I like that. I respect that.
All right. Is that the end of movie fights?
I think it might be, unless you have any more bonus questions for us, Jake.
Okay.
I have a statement.
Should we debate who won? Like it's a nice off?
Sure.
Why not? I'm glad we ended it though on the like favorite movie, because if we had ended it on the just who's the greatest filmmaker, would have been some fight going.
Tensions would have been high.
But yeah, Jake, to your podcast, who do you think won? Who would you say?
Well, let's say it's definitely not me. So
yeah. How about this?
I don't know. You and
Sad Boy Hours
and Jeff, and like it's.
But Jake, let me put it to you like this. Since it's your podcast, we'll let you dub a winner, and we'll just go around and be like, do we agree or do we disagree? And but you can dub yourself the winner if you feel like you were the most worthy.
You know what? I think
big one, 5 rounds.
Running.
Okay.
I don't want to be that guy.
I think Durham's lightsabers are the winners.
Oh, thank you. Do you like that?
Just because I'm so incredibly jealous that he has good lightsabers and mine are cheap plastic pieces of garbage. If only Saber Trio would open its shop back up. Saber Trio's closed, so I can't get a lightsaber.
You have the shop like actually like near you? That's really cool.
No, I mean like the online website.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Truly tragic.
Because I know some have like actual stores, but which I'm really jealous of. But yeah, Jake, what do you say? What do you think?
This is so much pressure.
We won't judge you.
We won't judge,
honestly.
Yeah, and like to the people who are like in the comments talking about like adult films and stuff, it's like, can you guys stop? My family watches this.
What?
If you want to talk about that later on Snapchat or something, I don't know. It felt more like you guys were kind of mocking the podcast and like supporting it. So,
by the way, hello, Jake's parents, if you're watching.
By the way, Riley, I'm not 5 years old. Like, okay, I'm not 5 years old. Children.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 5 years old. Yeah, I'm definitely 5 years old, guys. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
You caught me. I shall return in a short amount of time.
Oh, he's leaving. Okay.
We'll tell him who won it like after that.
I'll go round by round.
Okay.
So Fantastic Four. Durham just knew more about what he was talking about. So
Really did.
yeah. Okay then.
I'm just saying in general. No, I'm just saying
So it's one. Yeah.
Appreciate that you think that.
Well, I mean, it just Jeff also confessed to not really knowing the Fantastic Four comics.
Yeah.
And even though it's not my personal picks, I still respect that.
Oh, I missed the Fantastic Four question. Oh.
Jeff wanted. My choices were Jason Bateman, Nick Offerman, Cate Blanchett, and Dave Franco.
Jason
Fantastic, Jason Bateman. The Things, Nick Offerman. Miss Fantastic, Cate Blanchett, and Human Torch is Dave Franco.
I don't even remember.
Has Jeff won?
It was a while ago. It's okay, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question was, I need to pull up the questions.
You just roll up like, I'll show you.
It's the next Star Wars saga with directors and actors. I gotta give it to Jeff because I've been hearing about this idea forever, and I love it. I love that idea so much. I love your idea too, Durham. But Jeff, 1-1.
Gosh, OG Jake, that sure pumps my ego full of adrenaline.
Cast a movie, pitch it. If you're not directing, Durham won this one.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jeff. Your movie was good, but Durham, and like I don't know if it's just because I'm not a fan of horror movies, but Durham.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
I didn't have the skills to pay the bills.
Okay.
Wait till we have an acting competition.
Cast the new Indiana Jones. Just because I agree with Jeff, and like I think you take race out of it and all that other stuff, he'd be the perfect Indiana Jones. I don't really think race matters for the role; it just matters if you have the attitude.
Jake, give yourself that round. You gave us the answer that everyone agreed with.
But I'm the okay.
You know what?
1-1.
We are officially making a revolution, and we are overthrowing the ruler, and we're saying that you won.
You won that one.
Yes, indeed. Hurrah!
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 Yeah. Here's the hard one for me to respond to. Who's the greatest filmmaker of all time? Because I'm still dead set in my belief.
This one's gonna.
I mean, if I was counting a winner between Durham and Jeff.
To avoid conflict, we all won that round. Come on, guys. Everyone's a winner.
No, come on. This ain't no soccer tournament.
Everyone's a winner when you have the power of friendship. Now end it.
I don't want to
blue ribbon. Soccer.
This is not your soccer mom freaking team. Like, go get him, honey. This is my dad in the stands, like, whip his head up. It's like, that's not how this works, Dad. This is soccer, not Mortal Kombat. Yeah, okay. We all won.
We all won. So I think we should end the live. Boys, we can keep talking and just chilling, but I think we should end the live. Thank you all for everyone who came out to support. If you like the video, drop a like, maybe subscribe if you want to. And thank you so much for.
He's so nice. He gives the choice.